Yeah, I can't think of that damn expression. Like another one in the bucket, or another one in the.
Sounds like you got a case of the Mondays, even though it's Tuesday.
Oh man, I've got double the case of it. It's terrible.
Well, luckily for you, Mike, and probably most of the people listening to this podcast, we live in the United States of America, and this week is a holiday week, so we only have probably 3 work days. Hopefully. I do, at least. I count my blessings.
Lucky dog.
Yeah, man. Gonna enjoy my week of foods and sick internet deals. That's right, I said internet. Don't go out shopping on Black Friday, people. Just stay home. They're gonna have a lot of deals. I'm sure a lot of websites are gonna crash.
Oh, yes. I wonder if any of them are gonna have any PS5s available.
I think all of them will. And it's just going to be it's going to be what's the best word? I'm going with madness and chaos. It's like a whole festival of that kind of stuff.
It's madness.
Sure, let's go with that. But yeah.
The best word.
Both the new consoles, or current consoles, I guess now, are probably just going to go up at random hours of the day. So it's going to be like, oh, hey, it's 11:36 p.m. on Black Friday. Time for the PS5s to go live. And there's only probably 20 or 50 of them. Boom, they're all gone.
Who's ordering a PS5 at 3 in the morning? Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Oh man, I just saw something on my Twitter. I think it was today, that apparently the amount of scalpers who have PS5s outweighs like the
people who actually own them.
Well, not like, I think it's just like the business supply. So like if you try to go like buy one at a store or whatever, like scalpers outnumber that, or with some like crazy factoid like that. Actually, let me look it up while we're talking. Why not? I got a computer right in front of me, and that's where I see all my valuable information.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm glad I'm not actually, there's no like deal that I'm really looking at. Plus, a lot of Black Friday deals have actually started going live like a week or two ago. I think there's only like a few things that's actually like, oh, these items specifically, like maybe a TV or something, is the actual like get of Black Friday.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm not sure if I want anything for Black Friday. I mean, I definitely want to try to take advantage of it for like shopping for Christmas, like for family and friends and Amanda. But like, there's really like nothing that I really want for Black Friday, like that I can expect to be like on sale. You know?
Yeah, man. I bought a new TV like right around the beginning of the pandemic, so don't really need that. I'm gonna say if I'm at the right place in the right time, and specifically Best Buy puts up PS5s, might just be tempted to purchase that. But other than that, there's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously in certain things, if the price is right, I'm not gonna argue with it.
Plus, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what was that? No, I'm sorry, what was that?
I was just gonna say. Plus, I got a $3,000 Best Buy credit card, so YOLO.
Well, yeah, I mean, at that point, just charge it.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, pay it back. Well, that's not how credit cards work. Come on. It's just free money.
Then they give me the bonuses, which is like 0.001% of what I actually spend. So like, oh, you bought a $500 PS5? Here's $10.
Yeah, here, go buy a bag of Cheetos with that too.
Nice. I'm 1/7 of the way to a new PlayStation 5 game.
Yeah.
But the thing I was talking about, it says PS5 Scalper Group has more online stock than most major retailers, and that's correct.
That's actually horrible.
I know. It's like the complete opposite of how it should work. Thank you, Internet, for ruining everything. Yeah.
I mean, like, and the thing is, like, that's definitely, like, the world that I like, delve into is, like, the secondary market. Like, that's all I'm about when it comes to collectibles. But I feel like, man, it really does suck, though, when people do it to things that are just, like, so high. And everyone wants them, especially around the holidays, like, and it's not even like, oh, I'm spending, like, an extra... I mean, even just spending an extra $100 is pretty insane. But these people are charging, like, 30% more. Like, they're charging, what, like $800 to $900 for the PS5? Like, it's just
it's
insane.
Almost double the price.
Yeah. And the other sad thing is, there's no games for it. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's no games for the PS5 yet, correct? It's just here, have the PS5 and just watch and see how much better your PS4 games play.
You're not wrong, Mike. There's literally like I think 10 games maybe on the PS5 right now, and of those 10, there's only like one that's technically a PS5 exclusive. The only two like actual PS5 exclusive. It's funny because, you know, a lot of people were poo-pooing the Xbox Series X launch, like, oh, there's no exclusives. Well, Sony only really has, as a quote-unquote PS5 exclusive, Demon's Souls and a free tech demo game called Astro's Playroom, which is kind of like a Super Mario 64 / Super Mario Odyssey type game, showing off like the visuals and the new like features of the PS5, which I hear is really good, and it's a free like game. But yeah, other than that, like all the exclusives that Sony does have, you can also play on your PS4, like the new Sackboy's Big Adventure, which is kind of like a Super Mario 3D World type game. The new Spider-Man Miles Morales, that's also on PS4. So yeah, you're right. There's it. The biggest benefit, in my opinion, right now of just having a new console is, yeah, it makes all those old games on the PS4 like run better and look better, you know? It's almost like upgrading your PC.
It is kind of funny. You have to admit.
But hey, if people want to spend their money on that, go right ahead. I was also going to mention about the scalping thing. You know, maybe some of it's due to the pandemic and people are just trying to make more money because they know how sought after these items are. It could just be a storm of bad things, though, because you also mentioned we're near the holidays. You know, a lot of children probably want these things, or whoever. I mean, a lot of people want them, obviously. But yeah, scalping continues to be horrible. It's a shame.
It's a shame. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I'm glad you said that, Mike, because if you said Pepsi, I would have been like, nah, I'll give you a can of my piss. It'll taste better. Okay, I kid you not. I literally started drinking Coke like maybe a year ago, and look how dedicated I am already. It's Coke or bust, man.
I do prefer Coke to Pepsi, but I mean, I think we had this conversation. Before, so I'm not gonna delve too much into it. But yeah, Coke's is definitely better, but I do prefer Mountain Dew overall.
Yeah, Coke's super good because they put drugs in it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. Right? It's just liquid drugs, right?
It's the only way I can make it through my day. I have to have one 32-ounce Coke.
Yeah, I just gotta have a little bump. And that includes first and second breakfast and snacks.
Don't forget brunch and Brinner.
Oh yes, and afternoon snacks and dessert.
And Linner, which is a little unpopular, but I still celebrate it.
Hey, man, I am also a fan of Linner.
Oh, man, Mike. I was listening to this podcast the other day, and they were talking about how they got like a bunch of like Italian food for the election because they weren't sure what way it was going to go, and they were kind of just like all drinking and eating this pasta and chicken parm. They kept talking about chicken parm, and all that made me go is, man, I could use a real good chicken parm. I haven't had chicken parm in quite some time.
Oh.
So that's what I did. I got chicken parm today. It was delicious. I got way too much, though, because it also, usually when you get chicken parm, it comes with pasta. In my case, I had ziti. And yeah, it was a big bowl of ziti with a little bit of chicken parm on the top. It's still really good. It's homemade chicken parm. They like hand dipped the chicken, you could tell. It was so good. It hit the spot. Yeah. But now, hopefully, I don't go in a carbotosis while we're podcasting here, and I'm just like, oh, sorry, Mike, I'm just nodding off from all these pasta, all this noodle in my stomach.
To be fair, if you don't go into a food coma after a good chicken parm, it wasn't really that good of a chicken parm.
Fair enough. Not. I also had 2 garlic knots, which I could eat probably 16 dozen garlic knots.
Oh yeah. If I can go to a restaurant, like any Italian restaurant, where they just have the bread, I'm like, yeah, I'll just have some more bread.
Now,
sir, don't you want an entree? Nah, just give me some more of that bread. I'm good.
Now, are you a guy who goes bread and butter, or do you want bread and like that oil with a little bit of herbs and any kind of
oil and herb? Yes, absolutely oil.
I like that too. It's way more flavorful than butter. Butter is like, yeah, it's like salty and a little creamy. But yeah,
I like butter. But I mean, I would say like when it comes to like that, like Italian bread, no, you definitely go with the oils.
Yeah.
Unless you're a heathen.
Well, now that we made everyone hungry, go get your chicken parm and sit back and relax and listen to the #1 video game podcast on the planet level with me.
Hell yeah.
Now, before we get into the proper bits of things, first of all, I'd like to address, sorry for delaying the podcast a week. That's all my blame. It was Megan, my girlfriend's birthday, and we just came back from a trip, which I'll talk about shortly. And I didn't have a lot of time, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't really have anything prepared for her other than the trip, besides, like, actually, no, I had nothing. I was going to say a gift, but no, that's not true. So I'm just like, I kind of had this trip as, like, the gift. Don't think I'm, like, some sort of scumbag who didn't get my girlfriend anything for her birthday. But this, trip we went on, that was kind of the thing. So I'm like, oh, crap. I have to go, like, prep and get everything. So I think it was, her birthday was on Wednesday, and that's when we're going to record the podcast, I think. Or I forget if it was going to be Tuesday. I don't know what happened. Oh, no, it was Tuesday, and I needed to prep for Wednesday. That's correct. But anyways, I had to, like, rush and quickly find a recipe for a cake, and I had to get, like, balloons and a birthday card and all that stuff. So apologies, but it all turned out well, so yay.
So it's Megan's fault. Now I know.
Why'd she have to be born? Am I right? No, that's just kidding. I'm very happy she's born.
Ooh, you went a little too far there, Corey. Oh my God.
Why are any of us born? But I digress. But yes, but sorry for the dark humor. But yes, we're 2 weeks behind, so I have a little bit of stuff I'll talk about from the 2 weeks that we've been gone. So first of all, like I said, for Megan's birthday, me and her took a trip to the lovely woods of Morgantown, West Virginia, which is about a 4-hour drive for us. And initially, my girlfriend just thought it was going to be me and her at this cabin Airbnb that I rented. But as a nice little birthday surprise, I invited one of her friends and her husband, which he's also our friend. I don't know why I said it like that, up to the cabin. And
do you call him husband? Hello there, my friend's husband.
Hello, friend's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I think it was Jim or something.
Friend's husband works just fine.
But yeah, we had a lovely time at this cabin. I think I posted about it on my Instagram stories like 2 weeks ago. If any of y'all happened to see that, it's really cool. It's really nice. It was literally in this tiny little neighborhood around a lake, and it was very secluded. There was like 2 people to the right of us, but other than that, it was just a lovely time, a lovely little like getaway into the woods, if you will. But it wasn't too rural. We had running water, we had electricity, we had Wi-Fi. We weren't living like savages out there. I don't really have too much to say about the trip other than that. We played a little bit of games, both tabletop and video, and I don't know. It was just a really fun time. I don't really have anything notable to say other than it was a blast.
That's nice.
It was very nice. And then other than that, I wanted to mention that I am finally done Christmas decorating. Actually, that's not true. I wrote it down, but I still have to hang up like 3 stockings. But other than that, like I'm all good. We had all the boxes of all the like ornaments and everything, and they've just been sitting behind our couch for a while since we started decorating. And one day I'm just like, I'm sick of seeing these boxes. I got to take them down. So I just had to hang up the rest of the lights of what I wanted to use, and I took them back down. And I'm like, all right, I did it. So that's been going good. And also with that, I wanted to mention that I wrote down my Christmas list because I'm like, December is rapidly approaching us. I should start planning on what I want to get people and what I need to do. And I did a little bit of Christmas shopping over this weekend, which was nice. I went to a mall, which I feel like was the first time like since before the quarantine. Like, I don't remember the last time I was in a mall, honestly. Like, I think it was the first time I was in a mall with a mask on. It was a little weird, but then I got over it. But yeah, that was fun. Spent a little money. No one likes doing that. What else? Oh, I gotta let everyone know. I mentioned baking about Megan's birthday cake. Well, randomly, one of my coworkers, sometimes I'll bring in like cakes and cookies and pies. Like they'll do little like get-togethers at my job. And I guess the last time I did that really set an impression on her. And she's like, "Hey, Corey, I really liked your pies. And I was thinking, could you make me some of those for the holidays?" And I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll do that. I'm okay with that. And then she ended up telling another one of my coworkers who's like, "Oh, I hear you're a baker." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'm not really a baker, but yeah, I like baking." And he's like, "Oh, could you make me some stuff?" And I'm like, yeah. And he wanted a pie, and he also wanted a pineapple upside down cake. I was kind of telling him, like, I do enjoy cooking and baking. I think I talked about that before in the podcast. So I was like, I don't really have a method or recipes. So I like doing new things. So I was like, whatever you want, tell me what you want, and I'll try to make it. And that's why he suggested the pineapple upside down cake. That's one of his favorite desserts. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a try. I've never made one before, but why not? So I began my new side hustle, which is baking. And to my surprise, everyone loved my pies. I ended up doing that over the weekend. It's such a process doing that because I make like the apple pies from scratch. The only thing I don't make from scratch is the crust. I just buy those shortbread Pillsbury like pre-made pie crusts, but then I like put the rest of the stuff in it. But yeah, everyone loved them, and now I feel like I'm some sort of drug dealer because first of all, the guy who I made the cake and the pie for, he loved the pie, and now he wants 2 more made by next Friday, and he wants a peach pie. I've never made a peach pie. And then the woman I sold the 2 pies to has continued to tell other people, and they've all been coming up to me like, "Oh, you're making pies? You made pies and you didn't tell me?" And I'm like, "I didn't know I was supposed to." And they're like, "Well, let me know next time."
The pie guy.
Yeah, so now I got this side hustle. I'm pretty much just I guess I'm a baker, you know. Here I am, baking over here, you know what I'm saying, Mike? We're getting baked. But yeah,
get in there. We'll go out to the boonies and bake some cakes. And some blue cupcakes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, blue cupcake, that's my favorite strain. But yeah, I've been baking, and that's fun. I like cooking, and I like doing that kind of stuff. Of course, it makes the apartment smell real good. It's funny though, because I tell everyone like I don't make extra. I just make whatever people order. So I'm like, I hope it tastes good. I just follow the recipe. It smells really good. So everyone's kind of my guinea pig. And also, when I say hustle, I mean real hustle, because those are dollars not going to Uncle Sam. They're going in my pocket. And last but not least, I just wanted to get this up front before we forget. I want to wish all our United States of America listeners, and I guess wherever, do they even celebrate Thanksgiving anywhere else?
In Canada.
There you go. Canadians, you got your maple juice. You got your Pouton. Hockey. But yes, I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. Celebrate it wisely. However you mean. I don't know. What is the proto for celebrating Thanksgiving this year? I don't know. Guess you got to eat outside. You got to roast everything on a stick. I digress. Just have a happy, safe Thanksgiving. And if you're going to go out on Black Friday, also be safe. You know, maybe even wear gloves. I know some people wear gloves, but...
Well, don't wear gloves. There's no point.
All right, then.
I hate being that guy, but let me just say this right now. Just because I have to be the scientician in the room.
Okay, let me get my scientician glasses on.
Yes, but if you were... I'm just saying this right now. If you wear gloves to, like, let's just say the grocery store, right? You may be protecting your hands temporarily, but like you have to realize if you use the same gloves and go and touch, like, let's say an apple, and then you put the apple back and then touch something else, you have now completely defeated the purpose of wearing gloves because you're spreading whatever was on the apple to something else.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I hate being that guy. I'm just saying, like, I get bothered when people act like I'm wearing gloves. I'm perfectly safe now. It's like, well, I would say your hands are safe, but all the food that you're buying is now just completely covered in with everything that you were touching. It doesn't matter. You know?
Right. The gloves have essentially become a sponge for germs.
Yeah. And also people who see, and I love seeing people in the store who wear gloves and they're still touching their faces. I'm like, once again, you are now defeating the purpose of wearing the gloves.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's just me being, that guy.
You heard it here first, folks. Just don't wear anything. That's probably the safest way to shop.
Just go up to a young little kid who has his sniffles, let him sneeze on you, and just get it over and done with. You'll be fine.
Officer, you didn't need to tackle him. I asked him to sneeze on me.
Well, in that case, thank you, officer. I appreciate it. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger.
Yeah, but that was my week of doing nothing video game related. What about you? Well, 2 weeks, I guess.
Well, definitely I have not done anything video game related because I've just been working so much at my job. I mean, I guess in a way I really shouldn't be complaining because it's really good work and I'm happy I'm working. But yeah, I really haven't had much of an opportunity to really play a lot of games. I mean, luckily, we played a little bit last weekend, and I'm very happy about that. But I've actually been really falling behind on my Zelda Let's Play. I haven't played Minish Cap in a while. I haven't even played because I'm also playing on the side. I was playing Ocarina of Time again. I haven't played that in a while. And I think the crazy thing is because I've just been so so antsy for Breath of the Wild, or technically, Age of Calamity to come out, and I still haven't gotten that. And that just came out on a Friday, last Friday or something.
Yep.
I haven't gotten that, nor have I gotten what's it called? The Mario All-Star Collection. So,
oh yeah, I remember it got lost in the delivery.
Yeah, makes me sad. But I have to say, I'm not a fake gamer, but for the last 2 weeks, I have to give up my gamer card because I'm just a fake gamer.
It's not that you gave it up; it's just it's sitting somewhere collecting dust, and you need to just get a little condensed air and just sorry everyone's ears, and then pick it up and go back to gaming.
I thought you were gonna say it's not that you're a fake gamer; you're just a bad person.
If it makes you feel any better, I did pick up my copy of Age of Calamity. I think I was telling you how, for some reason, Best Buy, the day it came out, was like, oh, we're getting your order ready. And it was really, annoying me, because I'm like, how don't they have a physical copy of Age of Calamity, this big first-party Nintendo title, whatever. But, over the weekend, it went ready, and or it became available, whatever. And I haven't got around to it yet, either. I just, installed it on my Switch, checked for updates, and then I collected my 60 Nintendo points, and I was like, I'll get around to this.
I'll do it eventually.
Not to mention, I also bought 2 games that were discounted, so the backlog. Backlog.
Why continues to grow?
Why get a PS5 when I can buy 60 games on the PS4?
Yeah, or just play the other mountain of games you haven't played yet.
Or just play Call of Duty Cold War all day.
Yeah, or just play Legends of Runeterra.
Ooh, I haven't played. Have I talked about that game recently?
Not for a while. No, I can't say you have.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt on your week, but I was just gonna say I honestly kind of dropped that game relatively. A few weeks ago, or a little while ago. It was when I was thinking about this the other day. It was when I was in the Outer Banks in September, and I remember I was playing it a lot because I actually could play it on my phone, and I had pretty good connections because I have a 5G phone, so I could always play it there. And the game is a little toxic with the emote spam, and I feel like people also don't love when you take your time. They want you to make your moves super quick, and I kind of I don't purposely slow play. I'm just trying to think what's my best play. But I was getting annoyed. It was hard for me to focus on it and do other stuff because it was actually starting to get really hard. The matches were oh, this is a good opponent. I need to actually think about all my moves. And like I said, I was playing this on my phone, so I would just be hanging out with my family and playing this and kind of just getting frustrated. And I remember Megan was like, oh, you should stop playing that. It's making you frustrated. Just enjoy yourself. And I was kind of yeah, you're right. So I haven't touched it since September. And I don't know that I necessarily am done with the game. It's just, yeah, I don't really, that's just there, you know, whenever I want to go back to it. I know they keep adding stuff to it, you know, it's ongoing.
It's probably just there, like, Corey.
That's my Runeterra story.
Buy packs, Corey.
I mean, I jumped from free-to-play game to free-to-play game. I mean, it was that. Then I got really into Genshin Impact, but now that's kind of gone.
Yeah.
Now I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty. I also want to get back into Genshin Impact because there was an update a few weeks ago, which I hear is pretty cool. But yeah, Runeterra, it's there.
So back to my week. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I did. My last 2 weeks have just been working and working and working. And
you should get Leo out there. Tell him to start making ends meet.
Yeah, I know.
Who's going to pay for all this puppy chow?
I know. Leo, how much dog food have you eaten? I know I haven't eaten any of it, and I'm paying for it all. There's a problem here.
Leo, Christmas is coming up. You know what Santa likes? Good boys. You know how you be a good boy? Get out there and make minimum wage.
Yeah, get a job. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and actually, Leo's been really good. I've been spending a lot of time with him. He's been he's such a smart dog. I just get so like, how do I say this? I don't want to say I get mad, but
aggravated.
Aggravating, yes, exactly. I get like disappointed because he's so good, but then there's just some times where he is just so bad, and not bad where he's like actually being a bad dog. It's kind of like as if he know. It's kind of like he's so smart. He knows he's being bad. Like he knows what he's doing, and us being like people, like we know, like yes, this dog knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's getting in trouble for it, or he knows it makes us mad. It's like when a little kid does it, you know, like little kids like know they're being.
He's like egging you on.
Yeah, like we have old sofas, and we admit, like, yeah, like while we have the puppy, these sofas are perfect because as they get destroyed, you know, we don't really care. We'll get new furniture next year, but eventually, I keep saying, like, I know we said we were going to get new furniture next year, but I really wish this dog would stop eating all the furniture. Like, he just, I mean, like, how do I describe this? Like, cause he'll run over to the furniture and start chewing at it, and I'm like, Leo, stop doing that. And he'll get like he'll jump up and look at me, and be like, well, I didn't do anything, and then he'll just run away. Then all right, then me and Amanda will sit back down, watch TV, and then he runs back over to the couch and starts doing the exact same thing, and I'm like, Leo, and he just looks up like, whoa, I didn't do it. It's hysterical, but man, it drives me nuts.
Oh, Mike, I am all too familiar with pets destroying furniture, let me tell you. My last cat, Zubaki, rest in peace. He peed on the couch, our couch, multiple times. I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that. It was diabetes, which ended up killing him, which is sad.
Oh, well, now I'm sad.
But the other thing is he would always scratch the, like, edge legs of the couch. So now there is a forever reminder of our forgotten warrior, Subaki, with all the strands that he pulled out of our couch.
May he rest in peace.
I'm honestly surprised Stu hasn't really gone for them. Stu, we do have a scratching post, and I'm happy he uses it, but there are other parts of the carpet that he's just destroying with his nails, and I'm just like, ugh, there goes that safety deposit, or security deposit.
Yeah. It's all the same thing. Safety deposit, security deposit, whatever.
But I was also going to say, yeah, pets can be smart sometimes. The biggest thing that happens with my pets is we have Stu, and then we also have 2 guinea pigs, and they are able to both like recognize when it's time to eat because they'll get really excited and they'll make their little animal noises. And whenever that could just happen throughout the day at any point, like maybe Stu will just start meowing like crazy, and then the guinea pigs will start weaking like crazy because they think they're about to eat. Because my pets don't understand the concept of time. They start
weaking, like weak. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the guinea pig weak.
They start weaking. I will say they oink or whatever. And they
look up what a guinea pig makes. They do purr as well.
I'm gonna do it right now.
They go.
What is the sound?
Weak.
Yeah, I mean that's what it literally sounds like, but it's not called weaking.
No. You're looking at the wrong dictionary.
You know, like when a cat meows. Yeah, they go meow. They don't meow. A cat doesn't go meow. It says meow. So.
And yeah, then there's also, I'm sure you have this, but then there's the noises that are related to the food. Like whenever the guinea pigs hear a plastic bag, they think it's, like their romaine or lettuce bags. And then Stu ever hears a can, he's like, oh, cat food. And it's like, no, beans.
Cat food. Cat food pizza.
Ugh, I don't know. Please don't ever put any kind of seafood on pizza. Granted, some of the things I give Stu, I'm like, how is this cat food? Like, I hate to say it, but in an apocalypse, I'd probably eat this. A lot of it's just like random beef chunks with gravy.
Seafood. Corey, it's not seafood. Don't eat it. I can just imagine like Megan like going, Corey, seafood again? Come on. And you're just like, what? We have so much of it in the pantry.
Yeah, I don't want to know what part of the seafood this is from. Is this better or worse than Long John Silver's? I don't know.
Ugh.
With that being said, do you want to just start the podcast proper?
Why not? Why not?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Level With Me podcast, episode 72. I am one of your hosts, Game Bro Corey, a.k.a. Corey. Gotta have those 2 R's in there because every Starbucks barista thinks my name has 2 R's. And once again, I am joined by my co-host, Mike, a.k.a. The Collector's Vault. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good, Corey. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Level With Me. It's getting pretty dark outside. Ugh. And that means winter's coming. I don't like that.
Oh.
I think the song actually goes more like wiener 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 wiener. I don't know who told me that, but when I heard that, I'm just like, that's the most childish thing I've ever heard. And then when I was watching another episode, I'm just like, yeah, I hear it now.
Yep, you can never unhear
it. Son of a bitch.
I've been thinking...
Oh no! I cursed. I need to put a coin in the swear jar.
Yep. Oh, that reminds me. When I was talking about my baking side hustle, I told my coworker, I'm like, you're going to single-handedly fund my PS5. And he thought that was hilarious. Yeah, I've been meaning to get back to Game of Thrones. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, I started that this year, and it seems like I watched that show like years ago. But yeah, time is an illusion. What is time? Am I right? Is it that thing that's hanging on your wall? No. What is it? Who knows? Speaking of
time is an illusion.
Speaking of who knows what it is, did you see that thing that they found in the desert that's just like a metal slab?
Maybe.
That's a no. Hang on, let me pull it up. Here it is. A weird monolith was found in the Utah desert. It's literally just like a big steel like pillar that's just in the desert, and no one knows what it is. If this is some sort of crazy like marketing stunt, I'm gonna hate it so much. But I literally think it's just no one knows what it is.
Let's take a look at this bad boy.
It's kind of just like a flat. I'm gonna watch the video here. It's not very long. It's like
admittedly, I was not expecting that. That is kind of strange.
Yeah, I wasn't making this up, and yeah, everyone. I don't think no one knows what it is right now, and it is very odd.
I bet it's the very tippy top of a skyscraper buried beneath the sand.
I thought you were just gonna say a giant fork or something.
No, it's a giant pencil. The one that they made Doodle Bob.
They've cut it in.
All I'm saying, guys, is if it's the aliens, beam us up now. Get me off of here. I'm about done. Let's go to the next planet.
I was gonna say if aliens don't come, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Like, come on, 2020, just give it to us.
Gotta go out with a bang.
Yeah, exactly.
But not literally a bang. Don't blow us up yet.
Yeah. Or ever, please.
Well, honestly, who knows if that is or isn't related to video games. But I can tell you one thing that is related to video games. The Last of Us gets series order from HBO.
Oh boy.
HBO has officially ordered a series based on the Last of Us video game franchise. HBO Executive Vice President of Programming Francisca Ori announced Friday. Though a series based on The Last of Us had been in discussion for some time now, Friday's announcement reconfirms HBO's intent on the show and attaches a few key names to the project. Writing the series are The Last of Us creative director Neil Druckmann and Chernobyl writer Craig Mazin. Druckmann will also be executive producing the series alongside Cheryl Strauss, as well as Naughty Dog president Evan Wells and PlayStation Productions Assad Kizilbash and Carter Swan. HBO is partnering with Sony Pictures Television on the series, with the PlayStation Productions, Word Games, and Naughty Dog all co-producing. We talked about this before, like the article says. This has been like kind of talked about in the past, but now it's official. And I mean, what a great place to like co-create it with Sony HBO. We were just talking about how good Game of Thrones was.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it's gonna be an HBO show, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty awesome. I just hope they don't screw up the story, because obviously this is the one problem with any video game adaptation. Is like, we know what we love about this game and the story and the characters. So now I'm kind of curious what they're gonna do. Whether they're gonna be whether it's gonna be like a 1-to-1 parallel, or it's just gonna take place in the world of The Last of Us, and like, we're not actually gonna be dealing with with Joel and Ellie. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Personally, that's what I'm hoping for. I'd like a good just spin-off, like this takes place after the events of Last of Us or whatever, and it's just like another group of people like living with, of course, some sort of little nods here and there.
Yeah, and I would agree that part is the best thing, because then you're not like tampering with what people already love about it. Like, it's kind of like when it comes to like the Star Wars universe, that's why I love things like The Mandalorian. It just takes place in the Star Wars universe, but it's all like new characters. I'm like, yes, okay, this is kind of like what I want. Give me something new. Don't like try to redo what's already been done.
100% agree. Yep. So there's that. And by the way, I forgot to mention, guys, this is the video game news segment of the podcast, our first segment. And now we're going to, that was technically a TV series or net streaming series, whatever you call it nowadays. Now we're actually getting to meet the video games, if you will. First off, we got the Xbox Series X. So I don't know if any of y'all saw this going around on the Twitters or the Reddits or whatever, but there were like a lot of videos of the Xbox Series X like having this smoke come out of the top of the vents. And apparently that was all fake. And it was a hoax created by the world's newest trend, vaping. Isn't that funny? There's videos on Twitter on how to do it if you want to create a vape box. Xbox Series V. It'd be funny if like the Xbox actually had like a vape button. It's like, oh, well, I'm done playing games now. Let me just boop, and it just transforms into like a bong or something, or one of those a hookah machine or a vape, whichever it is. I hope in about 6 months to a year, when they actually find out like some sort of like internal part that's compromised on the Xbox Series X, kind of like Joy-Con drift or the red ring of death. Like there's always one thing that might brick your system or break, that they say that that's caused by vaping, or it's just a hoax by vaping. That's not real.
It's all an illusion.
Speaking of illusions, maybe the Xbox Series X is just a big illusion. And the reason I say that is because Xbox could be an app on your TV within a year, says Phil Spencer.
Ugh.
Head of Xbox, Phil Spencer says he thinks Xbox will release a smart TV app used to play games with no console required in the next 12 months. In an interview with The Verge's Decoder podcast, Spencer was asked what was stopping Microsoft from releasing Xbox as an app for smart TVs that meet a minimum hardware specification. The answer, it seems, is nothing. I think you're going to see that in the next 12 months, replied Spencer. I don't think anything is going to stop us from doing that. I mean, I guess they're just going to fight, with Google Stadia and whatever the Amazon one was called. I don't know how you're supposed to play these when he says without a controller. Do you use your mind? Are you injecting Elon Musk's brain chip into your head?
Maybe.
What does that mean? Am I downloading some sort of app on my phone to use touch buttons that no one likes? I don't know.
How about we fix what was important and allow me to play a YouTube video on my phone when I close the screen? That's what I want.
What if they bring back Kinect? Remember that?
Please don't scare me.
No
one wants Kinect.
I think it's hilarious how all the major consoles had to copy the craze of the Wii, and all that quickly went away.
Yeah, even the Wii's charm, it kind of went away by 2010. And that's when Xbox and PlayStation were like, "Oh, cool, we perfected it. But now we have PS Move and Xbox Connect," and everyone just get out of here with that crap. We don't care anymore. That was cool. That was cool 4 years ago for Grandma and Grandpa, but now we don't want that anymore. Come on.
I can't even name a PlayStation Move game that's was built for it. Connect. I don't know. Connectimals. I know Rare made a Connect sports game or something. I don't know.
Don't remind me. I was so mad with that.
Hey, they gotta use that studio for something. Why use all the beloved IPs? Who cares about that stupid bear or that squirrel? Battletoads.
I care.
Hey, calm down. They gave you Rare Replay.
They do, and it is glorious.
Why play a new Banjo? You could just play that Banjo.
To be fair, that version of Banjo, it actually is very well done. Revised with or remastered, I guess is a better word.
Oh, that's super cool. It would be really neat if they put Rare Replay on Steam. I'd be down for that.
Oh my gosh. Yes, please.
But yeah, that'll be interesting if it happens. I know a lot of people were talking about that right before this console generation. People were even speculating, because Microsoft or Xbox has the Game Pass thing now where they have all their new first party titles go on their day one, and then they're always adding a bunch of great third party titles. I mean, they just bought Bethesda, so Doom and Doom Eternal are on there. I think Fallout 4, you pretty much are going to get all the Bethesda games on their day one as well. And people are speculating that, maybe they'll just push that on all the consoles. Maybe there'll be a Xbox Game Pass type app on the PlayStation 5 or the Switch. But, I mean, I guess it could happen, but that's not what actually happened. Anywho, speaking of Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation seemingly planning a response to Xbox Game Pass. Sony's Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan says there's news to come on a PlayStation response to Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft's popular subscription-based game service. In an interview with TASS, Ryan was asked about how PlayStation will respond to Game Pass, which has become an increasingly attractive value proposition for Xbox in recent years. While not explaining exactly what the response will be, Ryan did make clear that there is actually news to come, but just not today. I'm kind of surprised to hear this, because I thought the response was, I think it's called the PlayStation Collection or something on PS5, which is pretty much all the PS4 games that matter. But I mean, this will be really cool, if they're going to actually expand that more, maybe kind of make it, I mean, they have their own streaming service like that now. It's called PlayStation Now, which I think had a couple PS4 games on it, but they didn't release simultaneously when they released. I think this is a smart move, though. With that being said, though, let's continue.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have much to comment on that.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Speaking of video games, and this is rapidly coming up every day. I'm almost forgetting about this. The Game Awards.
Geoff Keighley Day. My favorite day.
Yes. And all the nominees have been announced. And if you are wondering when the day of the Game Awards is, it is December 10th I'm going to assume that's a Friday. No, it's actually a Thursday. Mark your calendars. But we have all the lists here. We can go through a few of these. We don't have to go through everyone. Of course, there's Game of the Year, which our nominees are, drumroll please, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. Pretty solid list, considering the pandemic.
I was going to say, with Hades is probably the only one I'm not familiar with. I heard Ghost of Tsushima is actually incredible. You played that game before, haven't you? I think you were streaming that before.
No, I played Neo 2, which is it's very similar. I do want to play Ghost of Tsushima. I've heard very good things. And you should check out Hades. It is on Switch. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things. It's kind of like an isometric action game with roguelike elements. Yeah. Apparently it's really good. And it's not like it's more of like an indie game. It's only like $20 or $25. But yeah, here it's really good.
Cool.
Other nominations, we could go with, I guess, Best Game Direction. We have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and Last of Us Part 2. I guess I'm just going to point out some of the games on these lists. We don't have to go list to list. But yeah, I have the ones I mentioned before. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, or Aegis Rim, however you're supposed to say that technically. I heard that's really good. That's like a visual novel type game. Let's see what else here. Is there like one that's just Nintendo themed? I think there is somewhere. Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
I heard family, the best family game. That's all Nintendo games, probably.
Oh, yep. There's of course best performance with some of the voice actors and visual actors or whatever. Yeah. Where is the family? I'm trying to find it here. Best community support, aka best ongoing game. Even though I think that's also one of them. Best fighting game. Did any fighting games even come out this year?
No, I couldn't tell you any.
Let's see. All the esports awards. I don't even think there is a best family game this year.
Best
RPG. Wait. No, I found it. It's on their best fighting game.
Yeah. Let's see. We got
Fall Guys. That's a game.
Yeah, Mario Party. I love how Paper Mario, the Origami King, is a family game.
Where are you seeing Mario Party?
I said Paper Mario, not Paper. I'm sorry, not Mario Party.
It's family because it's rated E for everyone.
It basically, yeah. It just means if it's a Nintendo game, it makes it.
I'm not gonna lie though, this family game section is actually pretty good. Like I heard the new Crash is really good. Mario Kart Live. Oh, that's the toy thing. Yeah, I heard that's pretty cool.
I thought that was a phone game for a second.
I thought it was too.
That's a toy. Yeah.
And yeah, Minecraft Dungeons I heard is pretty good. That's like a Diablo type game.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're out there. I actually didn't vote. I kind of do want to go contribute to the votes. Right now, if I'd have to pick one of the Game of the Year nominees, I'm gonna go with Animal Crossing. I think that game was amazing and still is amazing.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like for Game of the Year, like they're all again. I'm not too familiar with Hades, but these are all big ones. The Last of Us Part 2 is basically like the what was the game by Kojima? What was that game?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. It's like the Death Stranding of the year. It's like that's all anybody cares about, right now.
True.
I get it. I mean, the game was popular, but man. It has everything in here. That and Final Fantasy, they're both like they were both like huge PS games.
I was gonna say, I mean, I hate to say it, but when you look at this roster, like there's no like Microsoft anywhere, like
because Microsoft makes no games. We said that many times.
I mean, they technically own Bethesda now, so you could make the argument for Doom Eternal.
I know, but remember, before that, they owned how many studios, and they have nothing to show for it. Again, I'm just saying. It makes me mad. It's
all right. In like 10 years, right before the launch of the next Xbox, whatever that looks like, they'll have a lot more games, right? Right? Guys? You're just going to keep making Windows? There's enough Windows in the world. It's too bright. Make it darker. I don't know. Transition. Twitch admits it handled DMCA takedowns poorly, says better tools are on the way. I think we kind of joked about this on the most recent Let's Plays or something like that, where, yeah, it's getting real bad out there with the DMCA claims of just having music somewhere. I even think people are getting struck for just like singing, even if it, if the bots can detect that it's that song, they might give you a strike.
That's actually hysterical.
But anyways, Twitch has acknowledged its fault in the way it has handled the DMCA controversy that puts streamers at risk of losing their accounts because they played licensed music during the recordings. Also important to point out that, a lot of games do just have licensed music in them. And I mean, I don't know if it's smart or sad, but I did see Cyberpunk has a feature where you can just tick off all the licensed music. And I'm like, well, that's nice, but...
It's good for streaming, but it's like, why can't I just play the game and stream it and enjoy the music that the game has, Yeah,
that's why, like, the new Tony...
That's why it's in the game in the first place. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, yeah, you're right, though. But I was going to say, the new, like, Tony Hawk, which it's technically not new, it's a remake of 1 and 2, but, like, no one could stream that game because the whole point of, or half of Tony Hawk is just that music, that, like, punk, grungy, skater music. Yes. Same with, like, even Fallout. If you have the radio on, there's all that, like, 50s and 60s, like, music, which really builds atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read a little bit more of this. At the same time, the company says streamers aren't out of the woods yet and strongly recommends they not play licensed music during the streams as negotiations continue between Twitch and...
R.
Yeah, good job. Good job, IGN. but also, that's a good point, though, too. I can't tell you how many live streams I watch someone just play, like, a multiplayer game, like, let's say, Super Smash Brothers, and they just have music playing in the background that's not just the Nintendo music. Even Nintendo might start doing this, too, because I heard, apparently, when Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity came out, some people were getting struck because it wasn't technically launched everywhere. Like, people who got it early in, like, Australia or, all those countries that get it, like, slightly ahead of times.
Yeah.
But yes, and R, whatever that means, in the first detailed blog post.
Yeah, for those who can't see, obviously, I think there's, like, a typo here. It just...
it's a typo.
It just ends with the letter R and no period.
Yeah, they didn't even... Exactly. The sentence it's ongoing. In the first detailed blog post about DMCA after streamers were hit with takedown notices en masse. Wow, this thing's all messed up. You see that too? The article says oh, okay.
that was actually correct, Corey.
I've never actually seen that. Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm stupid. Over the summer, Twitch explained that up until that point, DMCA was not a major issue for streamers. And this is a quote from Twitch. Until May of this year, streamers received fewer than 50 music-related DMC notifications every year on Twitch. Beginning in May, however, representatives for the major record labels started sending thousands of DMCA notifications each week that targeted creators' archives, mostly for snippets of tracks in years-old clips. And that's what really frustrates me about this, guys. It's like, how many of these streamers are actually making a lot of money that these fossils at these record companies are like, ooh, gotta get that money from them, or whatever they want to claim these DMCA records for. I assume it's about money. I don't think they actually care about the art and be like, no, we don't want our band to represent that. I don't know.
No, it is all about the money.
Yeah. It used to be a simpler time on the internet when AMVs were A-OK. It was fun.
Oh, I love those things.
I could see Naruto run through, I've become so numb. And we just got a DMCA claim. I'm sorry. Anywho.
Isn't it possible you can still make videos, they just get demonetized first?
Yes.
I don't know all the rules. I guess Twitch is different, though, than YouTube.
Yeah, it's tricky. I don't know. It's confusing, too. It's not great. It's not great.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'm glad that Twitch is actually looking to make it better. Who knows if that will actually happen? Because I know they were talking about some changes they already made, which actually wasn't making it better, even though they said they were. I can't remember the bits completely. I forget what they did, but forget about it. Anywho, let's continue with some video game news. We just have some like broad, like cool news stories. I kind of had these organized. I had like Xbox news in the front and a little bit of Sony stuff. Now it's just kind of all over the place, like generic like video game news. I feel like there honestly hasn't been too much like big news stories yet, and I think that's just because like we're still in the wave of the new consoles, you know, like that's kind of what a lot of the stories were about right now. Also, it's like around the holidays. I feel like come Thanksgiving and Christmas, like there isn't really too many big game announcements. Probably our next like major thing will be the Game Awards. There'll probably be some cool stuff there. But yeah. Anyways, I mean, this is actually a really cool announcement, though. Not for me. But Hitman developer announces new Bond game, Project 007.
That's cool.
Hitman developer IO Interactive has announced Project 007, a new James Bond game. Announced in a teaser trailer today, IO describes the game as a wholly original Bond story in which players will step into the shoes of the world's favorite secret agent to earn their 00 status in the very first Bond origin story. In active development for consoles and PC, Project 007 will be created on IO's own Glacier engine, which was used for the recent Hitman games. It's not clear exactly what kind of game Project 007 will be, but given IO's history with stealth and espionage games, the studio's Hitman model seems like a potentially close fit. And I agree. I mean, it could be up for debate, I guess, because, you know, think of the success of GoldenEye, but with work from IO being mostly on, things like Hitman, it's probably going to be like a third-person kind of stealth-oriented game, which I think fits 007. Again, this is not for me. I've literally never watched a 007 movie and don't really have much interest, but it's cool nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for it.
Speaking of things for me, this one's pretty crazy. So I guess there was like a massive like Capcom like data breach or data attack, and there's apparently a bunch of like their games got like leaked, or what they kind of have their list of upcoming games for the ongoing years, which is kind of crazy. But here we go. Massive Capcom leaks revealed Dragon's Dogma 2, Street Fighter 6, and potentially more. The fallout from a massive data breach at Capcom continues as more games in development leak online. A purported screenshot from the leak shows a Capcom development schedule for the next 4 years, and IGN believes at least portions of the list to be legitimate, including listing for Dragon's Dogma 2 and Street Fighter 6. Earlier this week, Capcom confirmed it was the victim of a customized ransom attack that led to unauthorized access to its network. Capcom says corporate employee and customer information may have been compromised by the attacks. Subsequently, materials from those leaks have been released onto the internet. While unable to verify them, all sources close to Capcom have told IGN that many are genuine. As for more information for the leaked data packages continues to trickle out, Capcom's alleged game development plans for the next 4 years appear to have made their way online. The schedule includes a mix of sequels and remakes, while others are only listed under their codenames, So here's the big list that they got. Resident Evil Outbreak. That's supposed to come out in Q4 of 2021, so the end of next year. Dragon's Dogma 2, which is supposed to come out Q2 of 2022. Street Fighter 6, which is supposed to come out Q3 of 2022. Rockman, in parentheses, Mega Man in North America, Match, Q3 2022. I'm interested to know what that could be. Like, is that a more like American version of Mega Man, or is that?
Well, I think it's very literal. Rock Band is what Mega Man is called in Japan, so I think it's just called Mega Man. Match.
Right. So yeah, like potentially a new Mega Man series, which would make sense. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah. I literally thought it was like I don't know.
Like a new version of Mega Man. Yeah. No, yeah. Like in Japan, he's called Rockman.
You're right.
Now this is interesting.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
Oh boy.
The end of 2022. I mean, that has to happen. You know, they had big success with the remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they're going to put a lot of work into this one because, this is by far the best Resident Evil game.
ever. Yeah, like this is big shoes to fill. I'll tell you that right now.
Monster Hunter 6, which I assume would be the follow-up to World. This is probably just the working title. And that is, I'm not going to say the year anymore. Let's just go down the titles. These are all coming in the future, obviously, or potentially. Biohazard Apocalypse. So I looked at this, and I think this is supposed to be Resident Evil 9, because if you look at Apocalypse, I could totally see them make a Roman numeral 9 out of the I and the Y.
Interesting.
Because Resident Evil 8 is called Resident Evil Village, and Resident Evil 7 was called Resident Evil Biohazard. They kind of like incorporate a word with a number, you know? And if you look at the L and the Y, you could see them make an X, an IX, you know, like a 9.
And between the L and the Y, I think I see the triangle for the Illuminati as well.
Okay. All right. Of course, if they're going to make Street Fighter, you know they're going to make multiple different versions. They have an SF or SSV or SSF6, excuse me, which would be Super Street Fighter 6. Final Fight Remake, that would be pretty cool. Power Stone Remake, I'd be highly interested in that. Power Stone is a great game. Ultra Street Fighter 6. And then last but not least, Resident Evil Hank, which they say is likely Hunk, which is a character from Resident Evil 2. I don't know if this is a new game or like a spin-off or something like that. But all these are very, very fascinating. We could see like the painting of what Capcom's games are to come.
I would love for a list like this to come out for Nintendo, just to give us like some insight on like what's coming out in the next couple of years.
Well, Mike, get on the dark web and go find whoever attacked Capcom and be like, okay,
I'll give you 2 free meatball pizzas. Just please tell me what Nintendo's working on.
Here's my kidney. Here's my left testicle. Just tell me when Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to come out.
Yeah, please. I can't take the wait anymore.
I will say 2 things that kind of upset me are the games that are just not on here. You can kind of see you can believe this because they're really playing it very safe, and I think that's what Capcom kind of does now. They don't take as many risks. Like it's a lot of Resident Evil and a lot of Street Fighter remakes, you know, or just adding more content to them, and a lot of the staple series like Monster Hunter, and you know, I wish there was a new Marvel vs. Capcom or a type of game like that, because people really like those games, and the last one really did not perform well because I honestly think Disney had way too much involvement with it and kind of messed it up. So I'd like to see some sort of, because I think we talked about how Capcom has this like deep IP of like almost Nintendo. Like they have so many like cool characters.
Oh yeah, so many, yeah.
And a lot of people have always speculated like, well, what if Capcom just made like their own versus type game, like Capcom All Stars, and just make it like a Marvel versus Capcom game, you know, like that tag team battle system. And then, yeah, I think that would be really cool. And then something just personally to my heart, I would love to see a new Dead Rising game, even though that's not on here. But honestly, that series might be dead, unfortunately.
No.
Anyways, though, I think this is incredibly cool. I will say this, don't believe this list, though. Now that it's out, they might change some of this stuff up, but who knows? I believe it, though. I'd say this is like 90% true or accurate. Also pretty cool. Everyone likes leaks. All right. Speaking of things that are specifically cool for me, I really enjoyed this announcement. And yeah, we vaguely talked about this earlier. Neo 1 and Neo 2 remastered for PS5 announced, plus PC release. Koei Tecmo and Sony have announced that Neo 1 and Neo 2 are coming to PS5 as remastered collections in 2021, and that Neo 2 is coming to PC as well. On February 5th, 2021, 4 Neo games will be released over 3 different platforms. On PS5, players can buy the Neo Collection, which contains Neo Remastered and Neo 2 Remastered, or buy the games separately as individual releases. On PS4 and PC, players can grab Neo 2, the Complete Edition, which packages the base game with the 3 DLC expansions. And I believe they go into, details about how the game will run. The PS5 remaster supports 4K resolution up to 120 FPS gameplay. The PC release of Neo 2 supports 4K Ultra HD and Ultra Widescreen resolutions. as well as HDR and 144 Hz monitors with frame rates of up to 120 FPS on capable systems. Full mouse and keyboard custom mapping as well as gamepads is supported by this version. I think this is really cool. I think these are really, really good games. They're packed full of content. If you like Dark Souls type games, if you like Borderlands or Diablo, like it's kind of a mix of all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I'd probably buy this again, even though I still have yet to beat Nioh 2. But including all the DLCs, I think there was like 3 DLCs released for Nioh 1 as well. Like, this is a lot of content. Like, this is a game you could buy and honestly play for like the whole year. It's crazy how much content is in these games.
Nice. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm happy that this is like one of the earlier things being pushed on the PlayStation 5, because maybe that means it'll get people more interested in the series. They might buy it because there's not as much new things on the PS5, and that could potentially mean, you know, maybe a Nioh 3 down the line, which would be great.
I agree. I mean, again, I think it's awesome that like this is obviously a series that you like so much, and hey, more games, remake. It's just the fact that it's getting the attention is what's really awesome, because then it definitely means it's going to have a future down the line.
Although thinking about it, it'd be interesting to just see if I could pop in like Nioh 1 in my PS5 and it just runs better natively. Like maybe I just don't even have to buy the collection.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just won 60 FPS permanently, damn it.
All right, guys. I know we never talk about Fortnite because we hate it. No, that's not true. I don't know. We occasionally talk about Fortnite. I wanted to include this story because this is kind of interesting. Maybe it's going to irk some people. I could definitely see that. Fortnite Crew is a monthly subscription that comes with a battle pass and exclusive outfit. That's right, guys. Not only is Fortnite having a battle pass, now they are having a subscription, much like an MMO. Isn't that weird? Fortnite is starting up a monthly subscription service with the arrival of Chapter 2 Season 5, dubbed Fortnite Crew. Players can sign up for $11.99 a month to gain unique perks and benefits beyond just purchasing a new battle pass every season. Fortnite Crew will launch on December 2nd, the same day as Season 5, as a monthly subscription that costs $11.99, will be reoccurring, but each month players will get a series of bonuses, including exclusives. And subscription members will also get the battle pass for the full season. Okay, well, it's kind of just like buying the battle pass then. And you get some extra benefits. 1,000 V-Bucks each month. A monthly crew pack, which it's just like skins and other stuff like that. I mean, I guess it's not really that big of a big news then. But I don't know. I just think it's interesting. You don't really see a lot of games have a monthly subscription other than MMOs.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't really, again, it's neat, but again, I don't really have much to comment on this.
I don't either, other than that. I haven't played Fortnite in like 2 or 3 years.
I just haven't played Fortnite.
Well, there you go. Well,
I feel bad because I understand the game's fun. I'm not trying to. It's just not for me. That's all I can say. And so it's fun.
I agree.
Therefore, it's fun to make fun of it.
Yeah, it's just top dog. You know, it's fun to poke at the top dog.
Yeah. Oh, quick thing. So I didn't realize this, but apparently I got some Fortnite trivia. Really quick, small tangent. Did you know that it's obviously still popular now, but at its prime when it was like the hottest thing ever, it was so bad that there were actually some professional baseball players and other professional athletes that were missing practices and getting cut from the team because of Fortnite specifically.
I feel like I might have heard of that at one point.
I think I heard one of the pitchers got carpal tunnel, and then it was added to his contract that he's only allowed to play Fortnite for so many hours a week.
My man, that sucks. Nah, he should just quit being a pitcher and go be a streamer.
Yeah, coach, I'm out of here. I don't need your stupid team.
He could just sit in his nice house at his desk in his undies. Why be out in the sun pitching a ball?
True.
That's wild. That's wild. The coach would be like, "You're only allowed to play 20 hours of Fortnite a week." How do they even monitor that?
I honestly don't know, but it was just when I heard that, it was hysterical.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, it almost like scary too to think like, was it really that addictive to people that like full grown adults were just like, I gotta get my fix, man, and it's like, no, that's it. It's in your contract. Only 20 hours a week. And it's like, oh, I need more than that.
That is kind of crazy. And remember, folks, that Fortnite originally was a 4-player co-op game without a Battle Royale mode. Epic just glanced over at that there PUBG and was like, Battle Royale, you say? And
then now no one knows what PUBG is.
yeah, what? Is that the frying pan game?
Exactly.
All right, guys. You know, here at the Level With Me podcast, we love Nintendo very much, so we like to save all our good Nintendo news for the end of the podcast. We have a few stories here. This one is Nintendo adjacent because this game was kind of only on Nintendo systems for quite some time. Neo, The World Ends With You, coming in 2021 for PS4 and Nintendo Switch. This is not a Neo game, Nioh, like we were talking about earlier. That's Neo, as in like a new like Neo, like the one.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
Is this a Matrix? Yeah, is this a Matrix tie-in game?
Don't take the blue pill, Corey.
My favorite color is red. I'm going for red.
Oh, okay. Then you're okay.
Square Enix has revealed a new game, The World Ends With You franchise, titled Neo, The World Ends With You, scheduled to launch in summer 2021 for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Neo, The World Ends With You is a 3D action RPG title, and its official description notes that players will be stepping into the shoes of Lindo this time around as they unravel the mysteries of the Deadly Reapers game in a stylized Shibuya. And there's a trailer up. I think it looks really neat. I never got around to playing the original The World Ends With You. I know they put it on the Switch recently, and I really want to go back to it. Something I think that's really cool about this game is I just love the art. I believe it's done by Tetsu Yamamoto. I forget his name. It's the guy who does like the Kingdom Hearts art.
Cool.
Yeah. And this game looks really beautiful. I recommend you all go check out the trailer for it. It's just very like anime, like Tokyo. It looks really good. I'm excited for this game, but I know I'm not gonna like get it right when it comes out. But I'm just glad that this also got announced because I know a lot of people really loved the first game, and that came out honestly a while ago on the 3D or the DS, excuse me. Probably in like 2009, does it say in the article? Or 2007 is when the game originally came out. So that, yeah.
That's an old game.
14 years later, here's a sequel on the PS4 and Switch. But yeah, that was cool. Also really good like music and stuff in that series, I hear. Next up, I know a lot of you are really happy about this one. Super Mario 3D All-Stars adds GameCube controller support for Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, that's cool.
I remember.
Now I can press the water down just a little bit.
I remember when this launched and everyone's like, "Oh, I hope you can use the GameCube for Sunshine." But Nintendo was still all like, "No, the GameCube controller will remain the Smash controller, and that's it."
Yeah, the GameCube controller. What's that? Oh, you mean the Smash controller?
It's so odd to me that you just can't use it as like a wired controller for anything.
Yeah, that's kind of like as if when you plug in like a USB controller to your computer, it just knows, okay, here, just coordinate the buttons and then we'll do the rest for you. But This is like what is this? What is this controller? And it just doesn't work at all.
Exactly. But I think this is cool. You know, I didn't, because I know the GameCube has these like, I have one right here. That's why I said this. It has those like triggers that are kind of like you push them in slightly and it like
the analog triggers.
That's it. That's what they're called. Did that like affect like the water flow in Sunshine?
Yeah, like it apparently only like the original Luigi's Mansion and Super Mario Sunshine are the only games that come to my mind that you could press the buttons down and like slightly use the like. For example, in Luigi's Mansion, it would slightly suck. Or if you press it all the way down, it'll suck at full power. And yeah, for
that's
Sunshine...
rude. Luigi's Mansion doesn't slightly suck.
I didn't say that! Don't twist my words, Corey. And then Sunshine, yes, even though there's really no point to it, you could press the controller down a little bit, and the flood would only do like a little trickle of water. It's a cool little feature, but again, there's never any reason to not do it. To not press the button all the way down.
Right.
So it was interesting. I'm pretty sure there probably were some other games. I want to say Smash Melee had like certain because the analog triggers were for the shields, and I want to say there was maybe some sensitivity to that as well, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm not that familiar with Melee.
Yeah. Ultimately, you don't need it. You don't need the analog triggers. They were kind of cool, but then it never got utilized.
But
after
Mike, nostalgia.
I love nostalgia, but I'm just saying I wish there were more games that were made with that. And then even if they did make more games, when the Wii came out, they just they were gone. So that's like
good point.
That's just Nintendo shooting themselves with their foot. We're like, let's do one gimmick, and then we'll just completely abandon the gimmick when they go to the next system, and then abandon that gimmick. Well, not really, because the Wii U had the pointer controls too, I guess. So, anyway,
I miss the stylist.
I miss a lot of stuff. I miss the Wii. I miss having the Wii as like my main console. That was good times.
The channels, like you're scrolling through Netflix.
Oh, I loved having like the internet browser on my Wii. I love that.
I always see so many memes. It's like, you guys get your news from CNN and Fox News. I get it from Wii Channel News. Yeah.
The weather and stuff. Oh my god, that was so funny.
And
that was kind of cool. It was cool though. I thought that was kind of neat.
And then of course it had that great, Wii shop or the virtual shop music. Do 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 do. Hotline bling. Everyone loves it.
Stop it.
I mean, you say that, but then like, I honestly thought the Miiverse was cool. Miiverse was a cesspool that I would always go on, and it would just make me crack up seeing all the people on there posting their meme drawings or whatever their other posts would say. Miiverse was great. I love Miiverse.
Bring back Miiverse.
Miiverse was a weird social experiment, and I really love it. It was quite entertaining.
I also just liked making me characters with the Wii. That was kind of fun.
I'm going to put Best of Miiverse into Bing here and see what comes up. Oh, boy. There's some YouTube videos I'm going to watch after this.
Oh, no. Oh,
no. Speaking of Nintendo, though, last but not least, Animal Crossing Winter Update brings save transfers, new events, quality of life improvements. Animal Crossing New Horizons Winter Update will bring with it Turkey Day, Toy Day, save transfers, and more hairstyle options, and much more. This new free update will arrive on November 19th, 2020, and auburn-colored maple leaves and tranquil blankets of snow will arrive on the islands located in the northern hemisphere. Hemisphere. My mouth is pretty dry today. Turkey Day will take place on November 26th, and first-class chef Franklin will arrive to host a gathering in the plaza. You can help Franklin by gathering ingredients to make delicious meal. That's what it says. And will even receive a gift as a thank you. I don't know about you, Mike, but Franklin looking pretty tasty. Get a little based on Franklin. Set your oven to 375 degrees.
Maybe, hey, Franklin, here, taste this for a second. Wow, that tastes like me. I know.
Maybe put some little carrots and potatoes and onion around the bottom. I can smell Franklin already. He smells good. And then everyone's favorite, Toy Day. We all celebrate Toy Day. That's why I was decorating downstairs. I thought I told you guys I was decorating for Toy Day.
Yeah, I have
December 24th and 25th.
Yeah, I have a giant toy box downstairs. I decorate with little ornaments and everything, and then hopefully the Great Pumpkin will come out and give me all these toys.
Merry Toy Day.
Oh no, I think I'm getting my holidays mixed up again.
Don't say that. You're supposed to say Happy Toy Day.
Oh yeah, I'm offended because you used the word merry.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Toy Day. It's just a concept. It's just Hallmark,
Yeah.
Anyways,
I get reminded of The Simpsons when they were talking about how they the corporate America was going to make a new holiday and it was called Love Day. It was just a reason to buy things for people. And then like everyone's like, "Happy Love Day, everybody!" And it's like, "Oh, come on, Mom! You know the company's just made this holiday up to sell things and make money." Then Homer just says, "Come on, Lisa, don't ruin another Love Day." I just started laughing.
Yup, pretty much. Toy Day
Don't
will
ruin
follow
Toy Day.
on December 24th, but the celebrations will begin on December 1st. You'll be able to purchase toys from Nook's Cranny and find holiday-themed clothing at the Able Sisters shop, and holiday-themed decorations will help make your island more festive. Furthermore, Shaking decorated trees may drop ornaments that will allow you to craft holiday furniture recipes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually didn't know about that. And on December 24th, Jingle will pay a visit to your island to help spread holiday cheer. And if you help him, Jingle, Mike.
It better not be Tingle.
If you help him deliver presents, you will also be rewarded with a gift. Ooh. From December 26th to December 31st, there will also be special items to commemorate New Year's Eve and a countdown event to ring in the new year, which will begin at 7 p.m. on December 31st. I'm quite sad that Nintendo didn't include that on December 22nd. Oh my God, I can't speak today. I'm getting all tongue-tied.
It's okay.
On December 27th, we will be celebrating Corey's birthday.
Yay!
That's what the real special items are for, right?
Yeah, that's why whoever is the producer of this game, is it Shigeru Miyamoto or
No.
whoever it is? The big cats over at Nintendo, they say, well, it's Corey's birthday. We gotta celebrate it here in the game. We gotta have an update for Corey's birthday, right?
That's correct.
All right, good.
I was trying to find the producer while you talked.
Oh.
I don't know. It's my cousin or my uncle. You know, he works there.
Oh yes, Uncle Corey. He works over there.
But yeah, man, that's cool. You know, they keep supporting that Animal Crossing. Oh, I also forgot to point out the other updates that are just like quality of life things. So island and resident data transfers will also be coming available and will enable you to move your user save data along with the island itself and all residents to another system. This service will be facilitated by the free Island Transfer Tool app in the Nintendo eShop. That's actually a big deal because I remember when this game came out, that wasn't in there, and many people were upset. So that is actually a very good quality of life change.
Yeah, I think it's more than a quality of life change. This is kind of like a huge feature that I think was strange that was missing from the original game. Like, I kind of get it. They want to do this that way. I think it was definitely a good marketing technique because that way they knew, oh, well, just buy another Switch and play it and play another game. It's like it was almost silly, like how you could not have multiple towns in your game. But
right.
I digress.
And then, last but not least, 9 new reactions will be available with this update alongside 6 new hairstyle options, and players will also be able to apply for a home storage expansion to expand your home storage to 2,400 slots.
Oh.
I believe that's 800 more. I think the max right now is 1,600. But that makes sense. You know, people are hoarders. I pretty much hoard everything. You know, it's a nice low quality of life thing, like they said. And, you know, I think we might have talked about this before because I know a few weeks ago or months ago at this point they announced that, oh, they're going to add like Mario themed items to New Horizons. They're just going to keep adding stuff to this game. Like, we saw the numbers on how well this game is selling. They're just going to continuously keep pumping new content into it day after day, month after month.
I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, that's kind of what the whole point of the game is, you know, to constantly just update and have holidays come up. I mean, I think it's great. It's a winning formula.
I'm going to say a bold statement right here. I wouldn't be shocked if at some point they release some sort of battle pass thing for Animal Crossing. I don't know what it would be for. Maybe just doing tasks around the island, but I could see it.
Interesting. So that way your townspeople can fight.
Yeah, you know, it's an island. It's pretty much like a battle royale.
That's true.
And
I can just see whatever the little dog's name is with the banjo. What the hell's his name? I'm such a fake gamer. What is
that'd be KK Slider.
KK Slider, that's it. Yeah, he just flies down the parachute. All right, boys, where are we dropping? As he lands on your island.
Tom Nook with all his bells, he probably has like state of the art, like drones and
Yeah, he just hires mercenaries.
he's fine.
Yeah, he has enough bells to hire the best armies in the world. Or his kids are just like his kids are little like Marines.
They're his nephews. He doesn't have kids. He's living the dream.
That's right.
But that's all the news for this week. Now we move on to the second half of our podcast, where we talk about what we've been watching and playing over the week. Who's going to go first, Mike?
How about I go first? Because I unfortunately don't have as much as I would like to say.
Go
It's been a busy 2 weeks. I did have some things to talk about last week, so I'm just gonna kind of piggyback off of that. So I don't believe I mentioned this, and please correct me if I did. Did I talk to you about the original Castlevania?
Yeah, you mentioned it 2 weeks ago.
All right, never mind then. I couldn't remember if I did talk about that.
Nah, it's good. It's good. I forget too.
So I was, but because I had my original Nintendo emulator up, I actually was playing some other classic games that I used to love when I was a kid. And I'm sure you've heard of Contra. I tried playing Contra again. I actually wouldn't mind playing that and like filming myself playing that game because it's just so funny hearing me rage quit.
Contra's a good game. Yes, it's very hard.
Yes, I had been in the game though before as a kid, and it's just let's just say I couldn't do it without the Konami code.
Up, right, up, down, left, right, BA.
Start.
I did
Very
it.
proud of you. Yeah. Let's see what else. Here's a game, and I actually want to keep playing it. This is really interesting. It's kind of like a Zelda game. It's called Deadly Towers. Have you ever heard of this game before?
I'm pretty sure I watched Angry Video Game Nerd episode about it.
Really? Yeah, I want to start playing that game again because I had it. I played it briefly, then I had to stop. But I want to keep playing that game because that's a game that I remember being like really cool. It was like the Zelda game that I played as a kid because it basically is very similar. Where like it's like a top-down like multi-directional game where it's very like non-linear. You kind of just go into all these different like castle corridors and everything. Now, unlike Zelda, where it takes place like in like the overworld and then you find your dungeons, I think the game's just one giant dungeon. But it was pretty interesting. I kind of want to take another shot at that game for fun.
I'm enjoying the box art or the label art quite a bit. It's cool.
Yeah, very classic. I think I have it somewhere downstairs. I think I'm just gonna play the emulator because I'm not even gonna try to find a way to record it from the.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a little old. Gosh. Oh, I was actually delving into some of my old other games for like the Super Nintendo, and I actually forgot this is a game I want to play. Again, I didn't have a chance to play these games, but I do want to talk about this game. There's a Mickey Mouse game for the Super Nintendo. I think it's called like Mickey Mouse and the Great Circus Mystery. That's a game, I swear, I haven't played that game since I was a little kid. I want to replay that one. It's basically like a 2D side-scroller, and you play as either Mickey or Minnie, and like you have different costumes, like depending on like the level that you're in. And like, your costume can range from you being like a cowboy and you have like a little like a little pop gun or something. And I remember it being like a relatively challenging game where you kind of just go through all these levels and you fight like a mini boss and then like the main boss in every single world. Kind of like in a way, it reminds me of like Castlevania, where it's just like a 2D side scroller, get from point A to point B and defeat the bosses along the way. It's actually a really fun game. If anybody listening has ever heard of this game, then you know what I'm talking about. It actually was pretty fun. And
interesting.
The other one I remember playing was actually a Sega Genesis game. Now maybe there was a Super NES port, because back then there actually were a few like ports back and forth between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. But there was another game. It was a Donald Duck game. It was a Donald Duck like 2D side scroller game, but this one it was actually very like non-linear. You can travel back and forth between different worlds, and you have to get like certain items that let you keep like progressing. So that one was actually more like Castlevania 2, where it went like the Metroidvania route. And it's really interesting because again, you basically are just playing as Donald Duck, and you have like a plunger gun. Again, but whatever. It was really fun, and I remember that game being like. I mean, as a child, I thought the game was pretty challenging, so I kind of want to give that game another shot now that I'm older. So these are all things that you guys can look forward to.
Plunger gun? Mike. Donald Duck's packing heat. That's just a gun.
It's a plunger. Well, maybe in the box art.
If you look at the box art, it just say that's just a revolver with a toilet plunger stuck in.
Let me take a look at it because I remember being. I want to see the box art. Right? To be fair, that is the game actually. Quackshot. You're right. This is the game. That basically is like an actual revolver, and he just shoved a plunger in it.
That's great.
I want to play that game so bad.
Why are you introducing me to all these like games that just have realistic guns in them? Like I never knew Donald Duck had a gun. I never Donkey Kong had a shotgun at one.
Let's be fair. That Donkey Kong shotgun is like that's intense. That's a legit shotgun. Oh god, I really wish I was there to see Miyamoto's face when like the representatives from Rare were like, "Oh, here, Shiggy, here's a new game I'm working on for you."
He probably fainted.
Yeah.
He's like, man. No, Mario's the main character. He gets the gun.
Yeah. He gets a gun eventually. He gets it in Kingdom Battle with the rabbits. Technically, it's a gun.
Rabbits. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them either. I hear the game's very good.
It is.
Yeah. Anywho.
Got any other games?
Unfortunately, no. I've been playing, in my spare time, I've had chances to play Hearthstone. Oh, I actually have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. Not in, real life, but there's actually, for anybody of our listeners who are Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans, there's a new, program called EDO, I think it's called Project Ignis, EDO YGO or something, and it's basically on Discord. If you join their Discord server, that's where you can get all the download links to this new program. Which it's not like the dueling. What's it called? What was the program? It's more like Dev Pro. There was Dueling Book, a Duel Book, or whatever. What was it? It used to be called. Now it's called Dueling Book.
Was it YGO Pro?
There was a Dev Pro, there was YGO Pro. They're all. This is basically the newer version of it.
It's like a video game. It's very automated.
It is, yeah. And this is also on another automated game, but I think this is a very optimized version of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think they say it's pretty updated and everything. But basically, that's just the newest one that people are playing. Dueling Book's still a thing, and I do use that as a good little deck building tool. But I've been getting into playing this because then I can just kind of sit on my laptop, while me and Amanda are watching TV. Or let's say she's watching more of the shows that she prefers to watch, and I'm not really a big fan of it. I'll just whip out my laptop and I'll play some Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been kind of fun. I still love the game so much. I just can't really play it in real life, which stinks, but I'm trying to make the most of it.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. And, but yeah, now as far as what I've been watching, I actually have a couple of things. So, Amanda and I are still watching, we're still watching Below Deck. The new season started, so, every Monday. Actually, this is why I requested us to record on Tuesdays, because Monday is when Below Deck's on TV. So, I'm sorry, Corey, and I'm sorry, all of our Level With Me fans. I chose Below Deck over you. at least for Monday.
How could you?
But, I'm here with you guys on Tuesdays. It's not, come on. Yeah, anyway. So, that show's great. And this is another show that I've been watching with Amanda, and I have to say, it really grew on me. The show's called Schitt's Creek. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes, I have, actually.
Have you watched it?
Nope, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, again, so not to really go into too much detail and spoil it, but basically the show it actually is really funny. It's actually a Canadian show, eh? Ooh, I'll tell you what's all about. Now all of our Canadian listeners just unsubscribed.
Oh, Canada!
Now they're going to subscribe again. Our home and native land.
Your moose are so big.
And the bears are so plentiful.
Can I get a maple syrup?
Well, look at those Mounties riding horses.
So Below Deck?
Yeah.
Or Schitt's Creek? I forgot which show you're talking about.
It was Schitt's Creek. So the show is basically about this rich and wealthy family that are kind of really really snobby. They lived very elegant and easy lives because they were so wealthy. And then they I think like the one that basically is a mother. It's Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. They're like the mother and father, but they're much older and everything. And they have like their two 30-year-old like daughter and son, David and Alexis. I don't remember the one is actually Eugene Levy's actual son, Daniel Levy. I think they both co-created the show. And forgive me, I can't remember the name of the actress who plays Alexis, but regardless, so it's the four of them. They actually, what's the character's name? It's John Rose. It's the Rose family. So you got John Rose, played by Eugene Levy. You have Moira Rose, played by Catherine O'Hara. And then you have David and Alexis Rose, the children. And again, like they're all like pampered and everything. They've always lived a comfortable life because of all their money. And then I guess John's business partner kind of screws him over, and I guess whatever like conglomerate or empire he owned, he basically gets taken away from him. So he basically has nothing left. Like they're essentially poor now. However, at one point in his life, he decided to purchase a town, and it was kind of like a joke because it's just like some weird little hick town up in Canada called Schitt's Creek. And, it's spelled like Schitt. So. And apparently, the mayor of the town, his name is Roland Shit. Well, I'll let you guys kind of put that together.
What a great name.
What a great name, yeah.
Nothing humorous about that name.
So they basically have nowhere to go. So they go to the town that he owns, and they are able to basically live in a motel for free because, it's all they really have. And the point of basically the point of the show so far, and I've only watched up until like season 2, so I'm still watching the show. I think up to season 5 is on TV or on Netflix already. So the whole point of the show is that he's trying to do whatever he can to make money and get their life back on track. But in the meantime, they're like trying to like adapt to living in like this kind of like hick town in Canada. And the thing is, it's not even that much of like a hick town. It's just like, yeah, like the guy, like the mayor Roland, he's kind of like a hick. I forget the guy who plays it. I'm so bad with these actors' names. He's been in so many things. He's been in like There's Something About Mary. God. Anyway, you can always look it up. So like he's kind of like a hick, and everyone else is just it's like a very simple little town. But everything that they do in the town obviously is very normal to us. But to the Rose family, it's like bizarre and like beastly, and these people are like barbarians and everything. So it's funny seeing them try to like adapt to like normal lives. And needless to say, it's been 2 seasons and they have not adapted. They're still very like pompous. They're still very like ritzy. They still try to cling on to whatever part of their original life that they had, and it's actually like really hysterical. At first, I thought the show was like okay. I'm like, I'll see where this is going. And then like by like season or by episode 5, I have to say I was actually like laughing out loud for a couple bits, and I realized the show actually is like really good. Like there are some parts of the show that may appear to be like a bit raunchy, but like for the most part, it is just kind of funny seeing these like really like again like very like ritzy and like how do I describe this, like upscale people who have to now like live amongst like people who to them are like paupers. But then the funny thing is, because even though these people may seem like they're lesser than them, they have more money. They have more money than the Roses, because they actually have jobs. Like the Rose family, like no one has a job. They're trying to get like these like just like low end part time jobs just because they need any bit of money that they can get, and they're being forced to sell like their expensive clothing and all the little like fancy doodads. It actually is a really entertaining show, and seeing them like make friends and like interact with the townspeople and the people that they see that they meet on a day-to-day basis. It actually is a really funny show, and Amanda and I have both been really enjoying it.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I really want to get into that at some point. I hear it's very funny.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. You guys can watch it. So, but yeah, that's basically what I've been. Oh, and one more thing. Amanda and I did get a chance to watch a new movie. Now, you already talked about this movie, but we did watch The Wrong Missy. And I have to admit, that movie was like, it was something else. It was definitely not like the best movie I've ever seen, but man, like we were like cracking up, and at the same time, there were some scenes where we were just like, "What did we just watch?" Like, there were some weird, like, shocking, very shocking moments in that movie. But yeah, like Lauren Lapkus, I have to admit, she did a great job in that movie. Like, I would say, I was reminded of like a Jim Carrey performance. So how he can just be like so like eccentric and like crazy, but like it just works and it fits that actress or actor. So like yeah, like she did a great job playing I think her name was Melissa in the movie. Like it was really good. I like seeing all the other like the Happy Madison guys. Like it was cool seeing David Spade and Rob Schneider again. Like it was pretty fun. Yeah. It was good stuff. I enjoyed it. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all. Again, besides that, I've just been working so much, so I've only been able to watch and play a few things here and there. So, Corey, how about you? How about your last 2 weeks? What did you watch and play?
Well, I was going to say, don't worry, because my list, honestly, isn't going to be that much, like, bigger, I don't know. I've just been busy with, like, doing the baking stuff and doing stuff around my apartment. I haven't watched or played too much, but yeah, I got a few things I want to talk about. So of note in terms of watching, I really only have one thing, and I just want to let everyone know that I have completed JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4.
Oh.
Diamond is Unbreakable. That season is done. Overall, very good. I really enjoyed my time with it. Now I kind of have this void of I don't know where I'm going to go next. I've been thinking about going to continue more because there is another season available, but I honestly really enjoyed it so much that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go right to JoJo again. Maybe I should like watch something else because I know I'm going to enjoy JoJo Part 5 a lot, just like this one and the previous ones. But it's really cool. I enjoyed like how the whole season kind of wrapped up. I feel like this was an interesting season because it kind of like I feel like the other 3 JoJo seasons were very like independent and kind of all had their own like vibe. And like I feel like this one was like kind of almost like a side story type thing and also kind of riding on the coattails a little bit of the previous JoJo season. Granted, I've only seen 4, so I don't really know how this is going to play out in the future. Basically, the other JoJo seasons have been almost like generations of the Joestar family. That's where the name JoJo comes into place. It's like their first name will be Jonathan or Jotaro or Josuke, and then their last name is Jojo, or Joestar, aka Jojo. But yeah, it's fun overall. And there was a lot of interesting stuff, how they tie it into, like, reality. This is, like, I guess, a minor spoiler, but not really. But one of the, like, main villains is based on this, like, horror story, which I don't know if you ever heard this, Mike. I've heard this one before. And I don't know if it really has an origin, but it's, like, this story about, like, this girl who would, like, wake up in the middle of the night. And she would have, like, her dog, like, lick her hand when she'd get scared. And then, like, one night, like, she was scared and she heard, like, dripping. And she let the dog, like, lick her hand. And then she looked outside her room and there was, like, the dog was there, like, its neck slit. And obviously the person who was licking her hand, or it was a person licking her hand under the bed.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, and that's, like, a story that I heard when I was, like, younger. Like, I've known that horror story for a while.
It sounds like one of those creepypasta stories.
Right. About, Yeah. And like, I thought it was kind of neat that they like incorporated that into this story because it is almost like a folk tale or something like that, So that's pretty neat. There are other cool parts about the series, but I don't want to go into too much detail. Yeah, I'm going to figure out what I want to watch next. I don't know. I didn't really watch too much else besides that. Like, I was trying to think, like, what else did I watch? I haven't really sat down with Megan and watched a lot of movies. We watched, like, I think we ended up watching the Santa Claus 2 and 3, but I don't really have much to say about them. It's just holiday movies. As for what I've been playing, like we mentioned, I played more Luigi's Mansion 3 for the channel.
Oh, yes.
And that's been going real well. That's a very good video game. I will say on the last recording session we had, though, I fought what I assume is the hardest boss in the game. Oh God, what was his name? Cletus? Yeah.
That's what we call him. Yeah, Cletus.
Yeah. It was like, what was the ghosts actually have names? It was like the hillbilly ghost or the mechanic ghost.
I think if you actually go into like EGAD's lab, you could look at all the ghosts you capture, and you'll be able to see what the actual ghost names are, and they all do have names, which I love. Let me actually look it up right now. It's probably not Cletus. I call him Cletus.
Yeah, that was our little redneck nickname.
Yeah. Wait, let me look. Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm gonna look up all the ghost names. The character ghosts.
But yeah, it was a good time playing. We did like the basement 2, which was kind of this like sewer / like underground like facility. Is really cool. It had a lot of like puzzles where you have like Luigi kind of walk on like the higher up elevated sides of the sewer, and then like Luigi was kind of in this like floaty like duck tube, and it inverted the controls and it made it more like slippery because you're in like water. And that kind of confused me really badly. And I feel like that was kind of a lot of the issues I was having with fighting Kurt, whatever his name is, in the boss fight. But
you get Kurt.
Curtis. I don't know why I want to call him Curtis. But yeah, that game, it's still very good. We also did the cool dinosaur museum. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, with Bam Bam.
But besides that, while I was hanging out with my girlfriend and the couple at the cabin, we played a little bit of Jackbox games. And honestly, I've been playing a little bit more Jackbox games with just my friends over the past like few days. You know, it's just like a very... Have you ever played any of the Jackbox games?
I can't say I have.
Well, what they are is it's like a bundle of games. So you buy like the Jackbox Party Pack like 1, and it comes with like 5 like little mini games. And the cool thing about these games is that all you need to control them is your phone. It is a very easy game to get into. Very, you can pretty much, your mom, your grandma, anyone could play these games. And a lot of them are like thinking of your own, like kind of like Mad-libbing answers, So you can put whatever funny obscenity you want to put in there. Some involve drawing. There's not really much of a gameplay aspect. It's more of like being creative, or there's some which is like trivia and stuff like that. So very party eccentric or themed. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot. There's like Party Pack 1 to 7. And yeah, there's like 5 different games in each of them. Some they do like sequels to some of the games, and then others are like brand new, like one-off games. So I'll go through a couple of the games I played. One that's pretty popular is called Quiplash, and basically what it will do is it'll ask you a question, and then it'll take two people will answer that question, and then however many people are playing besides who wrote the answers will vote. So if you have like a group of 4 people, 2 people's answers will be up there, and then the other 2 people vote which one's funnier, and then whoever gets the votes, the points are distributed. That's the whole game.
Yeah, I want to say I think I did play this before. Now that you're describing it, I just couldn't think of what the game was, but I think I did play it before.
The Jackbox is like the actual thing, but like I said, they're all like mini little games inside the Jackbox party packs. Quiplash being one of them, and there's a lot. There's a lot of different ones. But yeah, Quiplash is great. We also played a little bit of You Don't Know Jack. I was horrible at that. That's just like a trivia game, really. There's not much else about that. And yeah, I'm a dum-dum. I'm not good with like those trivia type things. But it was still, it was fine. We also played one called Bomb Corp. So this one was kind of interesting. I believe it's up to 4 players, which is actually pretty low for Jackbox games. They usually go to like 8 or 10. But the whole point of this game is on each person's phone is like a rule, and then one person essentially has to cut wires to a bomb to defuse it before the timer goes out. And you kind of have to like, everyone has to talk and read their rules, and then the person who can cut the wires has to figure out which ones to cut. And everyone will get different pages. So like I might get page 2, maybe someone else gets page 3, and then someone else gets page 1, and we have to make sure to do them in order. And sometimes they change like rules up in the sentences. Like maybe page 1 will be like, oh, cut all red wires. And then page 2 will be like, actually don't cut any red wires. Like they change it around. They make sure you pay attention to that kind of stuff.
And cut the red wires. The way you don't do that. And I'm like, oh, too late. No.
Yeah. Or there'll be like ones that'll change like the wire colors. Or sometimes it'll be like, only this person can cut these wires. We actually didn't get too far into this one because it gets a little tricky. And there are other type of games in there too. There was one where we had to sort files, which I know you're like, oh, that sounds like a fun game. Said no one ever. But what you have to do for that one is on each person's phone, there are 3 names. And it'll say sort by first or last name. And you have to like talk with everyone. And everyone will have 3 different files. So you have to kind of, individually press them one at a time to actually sort them. And we got really confused on that one. We messed that up a lot. Another fun one or game that we played is called TKO. That's like TEEKO. And this one's a lot of fun. I really like this one. So basically what you do is you draw 3 different pictures on your phone. And then you submit a bunch of different like phrases. So you can say like, hey, what up? Or YOLO or Mountain Dew. Or one I like to say is down with the sickness. And then you pick these people's like horrible tea creations. And then you pick a phrase to go with it. And then essentially it'll be like, oh, my tea creation versus my girlfriend's tea creation. Or, and people vote on those like T-shirts. You're making like custom T-shirts, but they're like, the most awful things that you would think of to be on a T-shirt, and it's hilarious. Also played one called Survive the Internet. I really like this one too. Kind of again like the Mad-libbing thing, so it'll be basically you'll go to like different portions of like stuff you do on the internet. Like there'll be a social media one, or there'll be like a internet shopping one, and it'll ask you a question that you answer, and then you'll get an answer from someone else, and you have to make a subject for their response that would be funny, and people would pick on whatever the funniest answer or response and answer is. Then there was another one I played for the first time called Split the Room, which literally is that you're trying to split the room best you can. You have to essentially like, they give you a scenario and you have to put in a word to kind of like, you want to split the room. You can put a funny response in there, but as I played more of it, I'm like, oh, you actually need to make it kind of like people would go like, I don't know if I would do that. It's kind of like you could get $1 million, but you lose your legs, or some sort of weird scenario like that.
I never needed them anyway.
What else is in here? Patently Stupid. This one's great. Essentially, you first you make up questions, which people would be. It's almost like you're almost like Shark Tanking a new item. So it's like, oh, I can't help spilling all my jelly beans. I need some sort of device to fix this, or just some random thing. Then you make like 2 or 3 of those, and then they randomly get distributed. And then you pick one, and then you draw your idea, and then give it a title and give it a tagline, and you actually have to present it to all the people like you're doing a pitch, and you kind of have to sell it. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. And then last but not least, the one that's near and dear to my heart, probably my favorite Jackbox game, is called Mad vs. City. And it's just a rap battle. You just are presented with a sentence, and you add some sort of word. It could be an adjective, it could be a verb, it could be a pronoun, whatever, and then you write a verse for it, and you're just rap battling. And I love the aesthetic of this one too, because it's like all big mechs, so it's like mech rap battle, and this one's great. This is my favorite game.
Interesting.
My favorite part about this game is because it's so like freeform, me and my friends generally end up making characters. So, for example, maybe I'll be like Ronald, and I'll do a bunch of raps about things that are on the McDonald's menu. Or maybe I'll be called the Last Prez and rap about the person who was the last Prez. It's funny.
I know.
It's funny. I know that was a mouthful. That's all I got for the Jackbox games. I do have a couple other things I want to talk about. I did play a little bit more Warzone since the last podcast, but I pretty much haven't touched that because there's a new Call of Duty out. But I did want to say that I guess everything was pointed in my direction. All the stars aligned, and right before I stopped playing Warzone, I ended up getting a win in solos. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. I had 9 kills. I was pretty proud of myself. I'm pretty sure it was just like on a random like Saturday morning. I was just playing, and I'm like, oh, I just won. And I'm like, I just got my first win. Cool. But yes, of course, after that, I have been just playing a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I even streamed some of it. I think I streamed a few times this game. And, it's really good. What more can I say than it's just more Call of Duty? I really like what they're doing with the zombies mode in this version. They kind of like made it its own thing. I didn't play zombies in the last Call of Duty. I didn't get Black Ops 4, so I don't really know if they took a lot of these elements. Like, I don't know how many of them are technically new. But what it does is they've done a great job like fully incorporating all the systems to work with each other. In Modern Warfare, your guns had like levels, and you would level them up and get different attachments, and there's like a million different little attachments and camos and stuff. And that used to be separated by all the different modes, but now in Black Ops Cold War, they kind of just made them all work together. So something that's really cool is when you're playing in zombies, and if you're using like the XM4, and you end up like getting new attachments for the XM4, you can just use those in multiplayer or vice versa, which I think is really smart and intuitive.
Oh, neat.
But other than that, the map is really cool in zombies. I forget the name of it, but something that's really neat about it is it's kind of like an anthill or like layered. It goes like down, which is interesting. I feel like they haven't done a zombies map like that. Usually they just widen out, but this one goes like down. And the top of the zombies map is actually the original Call of Duty World at War zombies map. I forget what that one was called, but that's in the map, which is really neat. And like I said, you go down, and there's also these like you go into like this other dimension, which my friends kept saying is like the upside down world, and it kind of reminds me of that, like from Stranger Things, if any of you guys get that reference. But yeah, in this like upside down world, there's like the sky. It's like more like it's got this crazy like color filter on it. The sky is like this purpley blue. There's like giant jellyfish in the sky. I don't know what's going on down there, but it's pretty neat. There's like gems you can shoot, and they'll like drop like loot. Like you get these like shards that'll help upgrade your materials. Sometimes you can get weapons out of these gems you break. It's really interesting. Speaking of those shards, that's something that's pretty cool, is they actually added like roguelike elements to Nazi zombies mode. So when you get done with the rounds, you'll get like rewards to level up your different like perk colas, and you have like an ability you can use in zombies now. Like everyone has a ability that will recharge. Like one is you'll like freeze a few zombies in front of you. One is that you kind of like turn invisible to zombies for a few seconds. One is like a heal that can revive people that aren't next to you. And you can upgrade these materials by getting these like shards. You can also upgrade like weapon or ammo mods that like change what kind of properties your bullets have. So there's of course like incendiary rounds that just deal more damage and can catch zombies on fire. There's like cryo rounds, which will freeze them and deal like a certain amount of damage. The one that I really like is called Brain Rot, which every once in a while, if you hit a zombie, it'll actually become like an ally and start attacking other zombies, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's just like so much going on in this zombies, and I feel like they made it like, I don't know, it just feels like really good to play. And I feel like back in the day, I played a lot of zombies in Black Ops, the original Black Ops, which funny enough came out 10 years ago. And it seemed like a lot like you always had to be together or be around like some of your other teammates. But I feel like in this zombies mode, you can kind of almost run around on your own. Like if you're a seasoned Call of Duty veteran, which is fun. Like everyone can kind of just have their own area. And all the guns in Black Ops Cold War, I think, feel really well. So whatever you end up getting is generally a lot of fun to use. Also, something that they did that's interesting is the weapons in Zombies mode actually have different tiers. So you'll actually get like a green weapon or you'll get a blue weapon. And, you know, it does that like color rarity where you want to get like the orangey gold weapons because they're like damage level 6. And they have like all attachments. And, you know, it's a zombie, so it's not that you're trying to get that and then you have it forever. It's that you want to try to get that every round, you know. But they still have like the ray gun. The ray gun is just gold damage overall, you know. They have all those fun, like wacky things. You can get the monkey bombs, you know, to distract zombies. It's really cool. It's got a lot going on, but it's really good. And like I said, it just affects like your overall levels, so I feel like at this point I might have played more zombies than the actual like competitive multiplayer, which is very weird for me. I usually don't play a lot of zombies, but it's just really good.
Interesting. I mean, I like my brother was all into all the zombie versions of Call of Duty, but it sounds like they definitely added a lot of features to this. They really made it like so much more than just a little mini game, you know, or like a little like additional thing. It seems like there probably are some people who, I mean, obviously people like Call of Duty for the campaign. Majority, I think, like it for the multiplayer. But I think there probably are going to be a lot of people who just play for the zombie version, you know, the zombie mini game. But I keep calling it a mini game, but I think it's more than that.
Yeah, yeah, I know it used to be a mini game, but yeah, now it's definitely not. And there's like a lot of features I didn't talk about. Like now that you can get kill streaks in zombies mode, which really help out, you know, mowing down tons of zombies with a chopper gunner or sentry gun. When you kill the zombies, they actually drop like magazines for your gun. They'll drop like armor. You can get armor in zombies, so not only do you have your health, but you know, you have extra hits you can take. They'll drop like different types of grenades, so you'll get like throwing axes, you'll get C4, you'll get like stun grenades. It's really neat, like all the different variety that they're adding into the game. And there's also like, you know, tougher enemies that kind of change up the variety. There's still like the rounds with the dogs that come, you know. It's just really, really fun. I'm really digging it. And not to mention, if they're going to do Black Ops Cold War like they did Modern Warfare, I just assume that they're going to keep adding new zombies maps for free. And even if they're not free, I'd probably pay for them because it's just really fun.
Nice.
But with that being said, I will talk about some negative aspects about Black Ops Cold War. I do definitely think that this game was a little bit rushed. It's very bare bones in my opinion for a Call of Duty game. Like if you look at the amount of content that was released when Modern Warfare came out last year and look at Black Ops Cold War, I'd say it's like, you know, like maybe 25% less, something like that. And me and my friends were talking and kind of count that to, well, maybe Activision is looking now at how they kind of kept Modern Warfare ongoing with their seasons of content where, oh, they had like 3 new weapons and like 2 or 3 new maps and like a bunch of new cosmetics. So I assume maybe they just held back some of their content for these seasons. And I mean, they did just add a new map to it. Granted, it's not a new map. It's Nuketown. There's always Nuketown in a Black Ops game. But I assume, you know, give it like a few more weeks. We're going to have our first season of content. They're going to add like 2 or 3 new weapons. They're going to add some more maps. I'm sure I'll talk about it because I'm going to be playing a lot of Cold War. But yeah, that's a little unfortunate. I also, for zombies, I want to say, I think it's a little odd. There is like story elements in the zombies mode now, like way more than before, but you don't actually play as different characters. You just play as like whatever character your operator essentially. So in multiplayer, you just pick a character as like your skin or whatever. and that's the character you'll play as in Zombies, as opposed to, oh, you play like the 4 different Zombies characters. You know what I mean? Which I kind of don't love. It kind of like takes away some of the personality of Zombies just a little bit. I'm trying to think of anything else if I want to talk more about the regular multiplayer. I will say one more negative thing is I've been having a lot of issues on PC. I actually had to reinstall the game like several times. I just kept hitting like these fatal errors, and I was getting really confused. I'm like, what is causing this? Like, I had to turn down a lot of my graphical settings because I just couldn't figure out what was the issue. I know for PC that Black Ops Cold War uses a lot of your VRAM, which can cause like that can drain like a lot of the energy out of your rig. So I don't know if it was something with that, but it's just weird. Like I never had this many like bugs, it seems like, in a Call of Duty game. But the multiplayer is a lot of fun. I've been trying to get more into that because, like I said, I played a lot more Zombies than I usually do, and I kind of just enjoy playing the Call of Duty multiplayer, so I just wanted to get better at that and level up my guns, and I just think that routine is still fun, you know, like running around shooting people, getting kill streaks. I think it's fun and interesting. I like the different guns. It all feels good. I will say this is another interesting thing that I didn't think I was going to do, but the auto aim is pretty crazy in this game. Basically what that is, for people who don't know, is if you use a controller, the aiming, it'll kind of like magnetize the aiming a little bit more to help out. And it's pretty nutty in this game, to the point where I had to turn crossplay off because I was getting quite frustrated. That could also just be on me. Maybe I need to learn and get good. But I literally was like, I just can't. I become my own worst enemy. I'm like, I can't deal with all these console players and their controllers. I had to turn off crossplay and just play with the PC players. And I don't even know if that's helping you, because I was playing a few matches before we started recording this with PC, and I'm still kind of getting destroyed. That could also be another thing with the skill-based matchmaking, where, you know, honestly, it's kind of not that fun because every lobby is like super try hard, and that's not really what Call of Duty is. It's kind of just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I'll figure it out with the multiplayer. I always have like a wave where I'm like, the game comes out and I'm like, you know, there's like that honeymoon phase where you're like, yeah, this is like the best game ever. Then it kind of trickles off and everyone gets like all the tools, and it kind of gets like, I'd say, kind of bad. And then you kind of have to feel it out and be like, okay, well, now I get how players are playing and what the play style is. And, you know, it's just a lot of adjustments, I guess. But yeah, I think that's all I really got to say about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
All right.
And like I was telling you, I think I mentioned it earlier, I do really want to look at Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I'm sure by next week I'll have something to say about that.
Oh, yes. I hope to also have something to say. I want to get it this weekend.
I've been hearing good things.
Apparently the pre-sales were really high.
I think like 3 million, which is kind of crazy because considering that game only came out on Friday.
Yeah, so the game's going to sell very well. I'm very happy for that.
Indeed. With that being said, though, we are going to move on to our last little segment here, where we're going to take user questions. So there are 2 ways you can send in your questions. You can either email us at levelwithmepodcast@gmail.com, which I already checked, and there are no Gmails, funny enough.
No.
And then you can also go on the Level With Me Instagram account. Or is it Level With Me Podcast or Level With Me?
You mean for the Instagram?
Yes.
It is the Level... I have it as Level With Me Podcast.
Okay. So you can go there. And then Tuesday, like during the middle of the day, there will be a prompt that goes up, or Monday. Are you doing it on Tuesday now? Or
no, well, I'm doing it like Monday night, Tuesday morning, you know.
Okay. But there'll be like a little questionnaire where you can submit a question, and if we read it on the show, we'll give you a shout out. Do we have any Insta questions?
We do have one from last week. I wanted to make sure we didn't overlook this one.
Good point. Yep.
Yeah. And it was from, of course, good old Owen Reese. So,
Owen,
if I may read his question, it is. I think it's just a nice, simple question, which again I'm always happy with. Excuse me. It's worded kind of funny, but Are there any games we are looking forward to? Which I think we've already mentioned a couple, but I guess we'll properly answer it. Would you like to go first, Corey?
Well, I mean, right now there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to that is out right now.
Yeah.
I would love to get a PS5 at some point and check out a lot of the new games like Demon's Souls, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Godfall. As new games coming out, I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 and Immortals Phoenix Rising are definitely two games I'm very looking forward to. Yeah, what about you, Mike?
Basically, all the games that you said, I'm also interested.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's the other thing. I also want to think to maybe elaborate on Owen's question. Maybe we can even mention games that we don't know are coming out. Like the games that we are looking forward to hopefully hearing that they exist. One of the biggest ones I have, and I'll let you answer this part, but obviously I'm looking forward to finally playing Breath of the Wild 2 when that comes out. I do want to play Engine Clan. I want Metroid Prime 4. I actually want Doom Eternal, but apparently I'm hearing that the Switch version was canceled. Or no, or it's not. It's going to be download only. I think it's going to be digital only. There won't be a physical copy. Yeah, which is strange. I don't understand that. But I am looking forward to that. I need a good shooter right now, so I do, and I really enjoyed the last one. So I'm looking forward to playing the next Doom game for the Switch, just because I don't have anything else. I am also looking forward to this because I do believe it's out there that Retro Studios, as we have mentioned before, is currently working on Metroid Prime 4, but they worked on a game ever since 2013, 2014. It's believed that the game was probably just scrapped because they have nothing to show for it. But I think whatever game that they were working on, I really just want to see what the hell it was. Was it the Star Fox Racing game? Was it a brand new IP? I just want to see that so bad. I basically what I'm saying is, as much as I love Metroid Prime by Retro Studios, I am looking forward to the next Retro Studios game that's not a Metroid game. I want to see what else they can do, besides Donkey Kong and Metroid. Yeah.
What I thought you were gonna say is, I mean, you probably played this game, so that's why you're not looking forward to it. But I'm looking forward to if that Metroid Samus Returns Switch port / remake is true, because I never played that game, and I'd like to play that.
I think that would definitely give a lot of players just accessibility because everyone has a Switch, and I think that I'm also looking forward to that port because I'll be honest, if that port comes out for the Switch, I'll get it for the Switch. Because I'm sure it'll look nicer on the Switch too, because the 3DS is not the most powerful unit out there, and so I think I hope if they port it, it'll be like better, sharper graphics and everything. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing you play it and seeing what you think about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And of course, kind of to that same note, I'm looking forward to the Mass Effect trilogy, considering I've never played those games. I would like to really sink my teeth in there and actually see the story and experience the game and the moments and stuff like that.
Me too.
As for a brand new game, I'm very much looking forward to Elden Ring. That's From Software's next new big thing. It's been MIA for, I don't want to say a year yet, but pretty long. A lot of people are speculating because George R.R. Martin is working with them to make that one. So hopefully he's not causing any sort of delays like how he is with his books.
Oh, shots fired.
Also, just, I want to see what's next for Bethesda. I want to see their new or RPG. I think it's called Starfield. It's like a brand new space Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I shouldn't say Skyrim. I did the thing I hate. Space Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. And of course, Elder Scrolls 6. Whenever that comes out, when I'm 37. Yeah. I like those kind of games. Even a lot of the stuff we read for the Capcom leaks. If a lot of that stuff comes true, I'm oh yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But that was a good question. Thank you, Owen Reese.
Yes, thank you, Owen, as always.
But that is going to do it for the podcast this week, guys. If you want to follow me, GameBro Corey, you can do so on twitch.tv/GameBroCorey. I will be streaming games there, probably more Call of Duty Cold War. I think I'm going to stream Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I don't know what else I'm going to stream in the future. Just those two for now. I have a lot of games. We'll see what else gets on there. But please give me a follow. I'd really appreciate it. Really want to hit that affiliate status at some point. And then you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, GameBroCorey as well. What about you, Mike?
You don't have to follow me. If you want to follow me, you can probably just go to the nearest Taco Bell. You'll see me.
If you want, that's exactly what I was going to say.
You were actually going to say Taco Bell.
Not Taco Bell, but I was going to be like, you can go somewhere in Philly. Look for a guy with Pokemon cards falling out of his pocket and sunglasses.
Hey! That's pretty accurate. Honestly.
Maybe a meatball pizza in one hand.
Oh, yeah, of course. All you gotta do is just, shout out, Metroid Prime 4 is never gonna happen, and you'll hear me go, ah! And then, there he is. And then they follow me. Anyway, if you guys ever do want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube. It's The Collector's Vault. It's we'll have all our stuff linked down below.
Yes.
And it's I don't do any streaming. That's Corey's job. He's the pro streamer, and you guys should really go check it out. I'm actually pretty excited for Corey to get into more streaming, and I think Age of Calamity would be a great game for you guys to watch. If you guys are not sure if you want to play the game or buy the game yourself, watch Corey play. Then you'll find out you'll find out that way.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, Mike, and all the listeners. I have a weird brain thing where I'm like, if I don't start streaming the beginning of the game, I can't stream a game. I don't know why. For single player games like that, even though that's not a thing, but I'm just like, I need to start streaming a game at the beginning, and then I can play it whenever I want, But I know that's not a thing. That's just a crazy mind thing I have. Oh well.
Yeah. You're limiting yourself, Corey. Break free from your shackle.
Yeah. I actually we were just talking about Neo. I do want to get back to streaming Neo too. I really love that game. And yes, the backlog is forever growing, and there's a plethora of things I'm still thinking about. I have ideas of games I'd like to Let's Play, even though I clearly need to continue playing the ones that I am currently Let's Playing. I also would love to check out Doom Eternal, a game I bought on release day with Animal Crossing and have not touched once.
You're teasing me now.
It's a
Corey.
problem. It's a problem.
Here I am, and I haven't been able to play because I literally can't play it, and it's just sitting on your shelf gathering dust.
Yeah, there's a lot of things gathering dust there. The Funko Pops, the figurines I spent hundreds of dollars on.
Yeah, and the other thousands of games you haven't played yet.
My heart.
Your cat's stuffed body.
It's like my shelf is like all my Horcruxes, If someone had to defeat me, they wouldn't have to go too far. They're like, oh look, they're all here.
just knock him off the shelf and Corey died. I can imagine Megan dusting your room, and then she's just like, la la la, I'm knocking shit over. You're like, Megan, no! And then you just, I guess you turned to
my
dust.
spleen.
I don't like Harry Potter.
I think that's a podcast.
Yeah, just about.
All right.
Anyway, guys, get out of here. Go order some meatball pizza, and we'll see you
Have a happy
next
Thanksgiving.
week.
Eat some Franklin.
Gosh, how can I forget that? Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. To
Get
all of
some
our
cranberries.
Canadian American listeners.
Get a little pumpkin pie with some whipped cream.
Get some green beans and throw some cornflakes over them. I don't know.
Wait, what? Is that
the green bean casserole?
That's not. It's French onions. It's not corn.
Oh, my family used to use cornflakes. I guess my family's the weird one here.
Did you eat a bowl of French onions for breakfast?
Oh man, I wanted to, but I ran out of peanut butter to mix it with.
I mean, that's what I ate. I wasn't judging you. I was like, oh, me too. I thought it'd be a fun thing we could talk about.
Oh, well, maybe next week.
Sponsor us, Greens, or whoever makes the French onions.
Green Giant, come on, sponsor us, please.
Jolly Green Giant's just Skinny Hulk. I'll say it.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's
he's
a
like
good way to end it.
Jolly Green Giant Santa Claus. He says ho ho ho.